final leg of this 10-game road trip for the Phils finds them in Atlanta, Georgia to take on the Atlanta Braves, one of their big rivals in the National League East. Tonight is game one of a three-game series. The Braves are struggling somewhat here at home. I guess that's an understatement. They come in 1-15 here at Turner Field. The Phillies, we've been talking a lot about their 16 of 19 stretch. Well, they can see the light at the end of the tunnel. This is the final leg of that stretch, and it's been good so far, aside from losing 3 of 4 to the St. Louis Cardinals to begin this road trip. But then the Phillies bounced back and took 2 of 3 from the Miami Marlins. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, joined by Matt Stairs. After an off day yesterday, the Phils are now primed to finish up this road trip, and hopefully on a positive note. Now, the Braves and the Phillies, everybody anticipated this year, Matt, they would be kind of even in their rebuild. Well, so far, the Braves are a tad behind the Phils.
A little bit. It's been a tough season. Going into spring training, they weren't sure what they were going to get. They're hoping they're playing some good baseball. But the start of the season so far, they have been struggling offensively, defensively. 7-23, worst start since 1900. The number that really jumps out to me is the -63 in run differential. Unbelievable. Having a hard time playing good defense, getting timely hitting, and, of course, starting pitching.
The 1939 St. Louis Browns had the worst home record in baseball up until this point, and we'll see if the Phillies can add to the woes of the Atlanta Braves. Now, this is a Phillies team that has 6 straight one-run victories. They have been able to pull out games late because they're playing some pretty good baseball late.
They are, and on Sunday, this is the 6th inning here. Cesar Hernandez lays down an absolute beautiful bunt, which they need to do more of. They need to play that small ball. Now, all of a sudden, you hit a ground ball. Echeverria makes a real bad throw to second base, and honestly, it's because of the speed at first base that he's getting there. He has to rush his throw, and that's the way they've been winning ball games right now. Now, all of a sudden, you get in the 8th inning. Goodell hits a line drive right here to right field. Nice to see him get going. Nice to see him get his timing down, hitting that ball to right field, tying the ball game here. Burroughs comes around for first base to score. And then, of course, the guy who had the great at-bat before, Blanco hits a double, first pitch to right field for the game winner. So these guys are finding a way to stay close to the games, which is nice for the starting pitching. Now, all of a sudden, they're getting late in the game, taking advantage of mistakes, and getting some timely hitting.
I think that's the big key. They are taking advantage of the other team's mistakes and riding what has been a very good bullpen so far here in 2016. So tonight, the Phils and Odubel Herrera will face Matt Wisler, who's coming off a one-hit 8-inning performance against the New York Mets. Adam Morgan returns home to Atlanta to face the team he rooted for growing up. Well, speaking of that Phillies bullpen, who has been better than Genmar Gomez? He's tied for the major league lead in saves. He has 11. We'll discuss Genmar when we return. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. By Toyota. Get a great deal on your favorite Toyota during the Toyota Time Sales Event. Toyota, let's go places. By Citizens Bank. The next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. By Coca-Cola, the official soft drink of the Phils. And by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Learn more at IBX.com. Warming up out in the outfield, getting ready for his third career start here at Turner Field and his fourth overall against the Atlanta Braves. One aspect that Adam Morgan is hoping for is that he can get to the bullpen with a lead, because the bullpen's been very good, including Genmar Gomez. Gomez has been fantastic as the Phillies closer so far this season. In fact, he blew a save on this road trip, but then he bounced right back like you want a closer to do, to pick up another couple of saves along the way.
Well, he's been throwing the ball very well, and he's not a typical power closer. He doesn't really have that one pitch that you have to be worried about when a closer comes in, but all he does is throw strikes, and he just hits the bottom of that strike zone. It's amazing. Every time he goes out there, he's that nice split-finger fastball. Again, he has a very good two-seamer with late movement. He relies on pitching at the very bottom of the strike zone, not overpowering 92, 93, but when he keeps that ball down, he gets a lot of funny swings, a lot of weak ground balls. 91, 92, that's all you need with great movement.
GMC Precision plays in the game. We're doing it a little early because we want to spotlight Genmar Gomez and what he's been able to do this year. 11 of 12 out of the bullpen, a good earned run average. As you mentioned, he's not going to strike a whole lot of guys out. He's going to pitch to contact more than anything else.
Well, that's the most important thing when you're the closer. The last thing you want to do is walk the leadoff hitter, but you go out there, you pound the strike zone, work down the zone, especially if you don't have that overpowering stuff. Look for those weak ground balls and weak fly balls. That's how all of a sudden you have a 2.31 ERA. 11 of 12 saves.
Phillies fans have been ecstatic about the way their team has started so far this year. Game one between the Phils and the Braves. Coming up, lineups and first pitch when we return. The Phillies are here in Atlanta getting set for game one of this three-game series. Matt Whistler's all done with his warm-up tosses. Let's take a look at the Phillies lineup. Brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Herrera, Hernandez, and Franco, followed by Howard, Ruiz, and Galvis in the bottom third, featuring Tyler Goodell, who makes another start. Adam Morgan batting eighth, and Peter Borges batting ninth, and they will face right-hander Matt Whistler over from the San Diego Padres organization. Last year with the Braves, he was 8-8 with an ERA of 4.71. And his mom told him to be on time, and he is on time and ready to go. As Odubel Herrera will dig in. On a beautiful night for baseball here in Atlanta, Georgia. Temperatures all day in the 80s, and the first pitch. Fastball in there, we're underway. It's 0-1. See the numbers for Whistler, 1 and 2, a 3.24 ERA. Coming off, Matt, a one-hit, 8-inning performance against the New York Mets his last time out. They feel like he's kind of turned the corner.
Well, and the talk was how aggressive he was in the strike zone with every pitch. His fastball, you can see the scouting report, pretty good arm, 91, 94 miles an hour, four-pitch pitcher. He has an ERA of 4.42 ERA at Turner Field. But the key for him last game was he threw the change up to lefties and to right-handed hitters.
For the next pitch is in the dirt. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That is a changeup, by the way, which was taught to him by none other than Hall of Famer Tom Glavine. We'll get to that story in just a little bit, but if a Hall of Famer is going to say, listen, son, I'm going to show you how to throw a changeup, you better listen.
Yeah, you better. Especially when he's around the ballpark all the time.
Out of play, and it remains 1-2. Odubel in the series against the Marlins was 5 of 13. He has reached base safely in 28 of the last 29 games he has played. I think the other thing, too, is that he's playing every day. He said his goal is to play 162 games this year. Swing and a miss. And he is down on strikes to start the ball game. Time now for our Nissan keys to tonight's ball game.
Well, I'm going to start with Chooch. I'd like to see Chooch get back on that line drive swing. He's been lifting the ball a little bit the last few games. I'd like to see him get back hitting that ball to right center. Number 2, don't take the Braves for granted. Even though they have the worst record in baseball and they're terrible at home, if you sit back, once you have that foot on the gas pedal, you need to put it down all the way. Don't back off. Just keep on burying them.
Cesar Hernandez now the batter. He shows bunt takes high. Braves are 7-23 overall. They're 1-15 here at Turner Field. Phillies have some hitters, though, that had good numbers here at Turner Field, so hopefully that continues. Freddie Gonzalez been under a little fire lately. Out of play down the left field line. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Sharon Amons of Newark, Delaware. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game. Then Sharon will win $300. Another one fouled off. It's 1-2.
You know, and going back to the second key about don't take a team for granted, you know, even though they're playing not very good baseball right now. I've been on both ends. I've gone in when we were the Kansas City Royals playing the Yankees. They take it for granted. We swept them in New York.
That one softly to the right side and nearly handcuffed Chase Darno. And there are 2 outs.
And then I've been on teams, very strong teams, where, say, the Phillies. We go to Houston, we think we're going to win there, score a lot of runs. We scored 2 runs in 4 games.
Yeah, those series against the Astros back when they were in the National League, they weren't always fun.
No.
Here's Maikel Franco. Franco 3 for 14 in the series against the Marlins. Overall hitting .239. He's got to get that average up. It's slipping lately. 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. It's been a back toward the middle and off the glove of Darno as it takes a bad hop and goes into center field. I don't think he was going to throw him out anyway, but Maikel Franco has a 2-out single.
Good way to start a series off by hitting a ball up the middle hard. Means you're staying on top of the ball, staying through the baseball, not getting pull happy. Even the swing prior to that base hit was actually a very good swing. He didn't step in the bucket too much. He still had the nice easy swing, so it's a nice start by hitting that ball up the middle, especially after an off day.
First hit of the night goes to Maikel Franco. And now Ryan Howard will be the batter. Howard with 21 career home runs here at Turner Field, 50 home runs overall against the Braves. Over the Phillies dugout and out of play. Way upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Howard 0 for 4 in the series against the Marlins.
See, I see that last pitch was kind of a useless pitch. Mike Schmidt always talks about the high fastball. He did a slide step. He changed his complete delivery. Franco's not going to try to steal second base. So why don't pitchers just take their time and make a quality pitch and try to be instead of being a quick slide step and an airmail one.
Yeah, I thought Aaron Nola did that the other day against the Marlins, which was somewhat unlike him.
But you do have to remember as well, it's not always the pitcher that does the slide step. He gets the sign from the coach to the catcher. He gives him the slide step sign to the pitcher.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Howard with Franco off first. And Howard fouls it down the left field line. Whistler is a former 7th round pick in 2011 by the Padres. He was involved in the trade that sent Craig Kimbrell and Melvin Upton Jr. to San Diego. Braves felt like they got some good pitching prospects back, not only in that trade, but also the trade for Justin Upton. Out towards center field. Moving back on it is Enciarte. He's got room. And he puts it away, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. Middle of the first. It's the Phillies nothing and the Braves coming up. Here at Turner Field, the Phils went down quietly in their half of the first. Let's take a look at Freddie Gonzalez's lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity. The new Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Markakis, Enciarte, and Freddie Freeman, followed by Tyler Flowers catching today. Old friend Jeff Francoeur is in left field batting 5th. Gordon Beckham will bat 6th. In the bottom third of Chase Darno, Eric Ibar, and Matt Whistler. They will face Phillies left-hander Adam Morgan, the 26-year-old from Marietta, Georgia, not too far from downtown Atlanta. So far in 2 starts, no wins, no losses, an ERA of 6, and he is ready to go, waiting for Nick Markakis to stand in. Markakis overall hitting .294 with no homers and 20 RBIs, and swings at the first pitch and fouls it over the third base dugout. All right, Matt, there it is.
The scouting report on Adam Morgan. One, he works very quick. He gets the baseball ready to go. Velocity is up a little bit this year, 91.3. I'd love to see more curveballs, though, and I'd like to see those pitches go down a little bit per inning.
Last time out against the Cardinals, he sped through 4 innings.
5-minute delay ruined him.
Yeah, and it turned out they timed it down in the dugout that it was closer to an 8-minute delay because the 5 minutes was part of the review. And then it took some time before they decided to review it, and then after as well. He went 4 innings, 4+ innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Down the left field line, that'll slice out of play.
Great barehanded catch by that fan down left field.
Yeah, there was a guy that reached up, I think, with his glove. He missed it, and then that guy with the glove was able to grab it. But I don't think he used his glove. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Well, he did use his glove.
So you have better eyes than I had, the guy in the gray shirt catching it. But again, I am older than you, Tom.
Curveball and a strike 3 call. There you go, Matt. First out of the day is a strikeout. Tonight's game is also available in Spanish. Just use the SAP button on your television or change the language through the menu on your cable box. Ender Inciarte is next up, just off the disabled list a couple days ago. He was on the DL with a bad hamstring. Inciarte spent a little bit of time in the Phillies organization. Whacks the first one from Morgan foul, and it's 0-1. What a great season he had last year with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hit .303, had 27 doubles. Bunts it foul. The Braves got him back in the Shelby Miller trade this past offseason. Adam Morgan has made 2 starts here at Turner Field. He's gone 13 innings combined. He's allowed 4 earned runs, 2 walks and 8 strikeouts. He's 0-3 in his starts against the Braves. That one's pulled over to first. Ryan Howard waits. Well, so far the first 2 batters, Matt, he's using his off-speed pitches, breaking stuff in pretty good spots.
Well, and I like to see early getting ahead. You know, I know we talked about the pitches per inning are getting up a little bit. He's a little over 18, close to 19 per inning. And look, I know it's easier said than done by getting ahead and staying ahead. But when you don't have overpowering stuff, you do have to nibble a little bit because you don't want to live in the middle of the plate. But it's nice to see the curveball, the off-speed pitches right there.
Gets Freddie Freeman out front on the first pitch. It's 0-1. Freeman 3 for 11 in the series against the Diamondbacks. He has started to heat up. Overall hitting .264 with 4 homers and 8 RBIs. He has 4 of their 7 home runs.
I always have found it interesting that a lot of teams pitch Freddie Freeman down in the zone. By the first 2 swings, he's a low ball hitter. He has that down through the zone. He wants to pick that ball up off his barrel. Not very many pitches, they don't elevate to him. You know, for a guy that's as big as he is and as short, he has a very short swing and a powerful swing, but he is a dead low ball hitter.
To center field, Odubel Herrera comes dancing in and makes the catch, and the side is retired. 15 pitch inning for Adam Morgan. He retires the Braves in order. We'll head to the second here at Turner Field. Have a respiratory night at Citizens Bank Park. That free Phillies cap right there to all fans coming to the ballpark. Tickets can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com. Phillies will be home for an extended homestand after this long road trip, this 10-game road trip, 10 games in 11 days. Carlos Ruiz will start it off here in the top of the second. Carlos 0 for his last 8. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. 286 with 3 homers and 6 runs batted in. Popped it up. Tyler Flowers off of the mask. Not a whole lot of room, but still able to make the catch. 1 away. I guess that's part of what you were talking about with Carlos Ruiz, Matt.
Yeah, just a little lifty hitter right now. Instead of concentrating on throwing that barrel and keeping your hands above the ball, or the barrel above the ball, he's just getting everything underneath a little bit, and he's getting that little uppercut swing working.
So an easy out to begin the second, and Freddie Galvis will be the batter. Galvis hitting .231. He's been teetering between the 5th spot and the 6th spot in the order over the last few games. Like Cesar Hernandez and a couple other Phillies hitters, his numbers have been good against the Braves for his career, his short career. 1 ball, 1 strike. Whistler's last time out allowed just 1 hit against the Mets. He went 8 innings, walked 2, hit 1, struck out 4. He didn't, and they said he's more of a ground ball pitcher. He didn't have an overwhelming amount of ground balls. He said he was just trying to pitch to contact and wasn't worried about the ground ball rate. They feel like he is really starting to figure it out at 23 years old. That's an awful lot to say. Down the left field line, on the run is Francoeur toward foul territory, and he reaches up and makes the catch. I think Jeffrey misjudged that for a moment.
Looking for the fence, and then all of a sudden you realize that, oop, wrong angle.
He was catching up with his former teammates before the ball game today. Here's Tyler Goodell. Goodell was 1 for 6 against the Marlins, getting a chance to play for the 3rd straight day. And that one is into shallow right center field. And the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Phillies. 1.5 in the books for Matt Wisler and the Braves. On to the bottom of the second. Flowers, Francoeur, and Beckham when we come back.
Crew, believe it or not, it's been 10 years since Aaron Rowan ran into the wall at Citizens Bank Park.
Years.
Yes.
We will talk to Aaron about that classic moment. Plus, I'll take you behind the scenes of Cirque du Soleil. See you at 6 on the Comcast Network.
A remarkable grab by Aaron Rowan on a ball hit by Xavier Nady, a bases-loaded situation, and before the padding was even on the wall at Citizens Bank Park. The padding was supposed to be added that week and was added about a week or so later, but that was an amazing grab by Aaron Rowan. We head to the second. Tyler Flowers will lead it off, his 13th start for the Braves. Adam Morgan delivers low, 1 ball, no strikes. Flowers hitting .250, no homers, 6 runs batted in. Over from the Chicago White Sox. Ryan Howard says he has it. One away here in the second. And that'll bring Jeff Francoeur to the plate. As Jeff comes to the plate, let's check in with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, Tom. Well, you talked a little bit about it when Freddie Freeman came to the plate. The power outage that has been here in Atlanta. It is amazing to think here we are in halfway through May, and as a team, the Atlanta Braves have 7 home runs. 7 home runs as a team. The next closest team in Major League Baseball are the Dodgers. They have 24. They are the 2 worst, 24 and 7. Freddie Freeman, as you mentioned, has 4 of those, Tom, and 18 major leaguers across the league have more home runs than the Atlanta Braves have as a team. It is hard to believe that at this point of the season it is only 7 guys.
Well, Jeff Francoeur, who's up right now, does not have any, and they knew that it would be a struggle to score offensively. I don't think they anticipated it would be this much of a struggle. Francoeur goes around. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. It is incredible to think, though, that 18 players have more home runs than the Atlanta Braves. Now you figure it has to even out at some point, right?
No, I don't think it will. I wouldn't think so. I mean, if you're not going to hit home runs in April and May, when pitchers are just coming out of spring training and not really finding their great stuff yet.
Broken bat liner back toward the middle. Cesar Hernandez throws out Francoeur. That one spinning right past Adam Morgan.
You know, and then you also got to remember, too, is that the Phillies have good starting pitching. So does the Mets, Nats. Marlins have pretty good arms. You're playing against those teams a lot. But 7's, that's an interesting number.
There is Aaron Nola, Jared Eickhoff. Eickhoff and Velasquez will both pitch in this series. Whoa. You got to be flexible if you're out on the mound, Matt. It's like the Matrix. 0-1 pitch, curved ball, fought off foul. And it's 0-2.
Like, are we expecting rain in the 5th inning or something tonight? No.
No, why? Oh, because they're swinging so fast.
Every pitch.
They are going fast.
It's not getaway day. Both teams are coming on an off after an off day, where you would like to see guys start taking more pitches to get their timing down, even though they have 1 day off. And yes, the Phillies hit early today on the field. A lot of guys haven't played here before. You want to get the batter's eye, see if you can pick the spin up, how the lights are. Interesting.
Excellent breaking pitch, though, by Adam Morgan. Another 1-2-3 inning. So 2 in the books. We'll go to the 3rd. Morgan will lead it off. the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. All right, Matt, the question is, who was the Braves' first opponent at Turner Field in 1997? Back in 1997. The answer will be revealed in just a little bit. This is the final year of baseball here at Turner Field. The progress of their new ballpark, SunTrust Park, is going quite nicely. It will not be downtown. Morgan floats one out to left. Jeff Francoeur is under it. They're down to 65 home games remaining, counting this one. Olympic Stadium back in 1996, converted to baseball for the 97 season. Capacity is a little more than 49,000. It's younger than 14 of MLB's other 29 stadiums. I think a lot of people were surprised when the Braves said, all right, we're going to go build our own facility, but they don't get all the revenue from this facility, which is why they wanted their own place.
Hey, this stadium's still in great condition.
Fly ball shallow center field. Maybe it is getaway day. 2 outs. 6 of the outs so far have been in the air.
But he's a ground ball pitcher.
But he's supposed to be a ground ball pitcher. He's not concerned about that anymore, though, Matt. Fastball, curveball, slider, and now changeup. I mentioned the changeup that Tom Glavine taught him. Apparently, one day last year, Glavine was broadcasting games for the Atlanta Braves and was asked what he thought about Matt Whistler. He said, I think he's outstanding. I'd love to see him throw a changeup. And apparently he didn't really have a changeup to throw. Well, Whistler's dad was watching the game and told Matt what Glavine said, so Matt got in contact with Tom Glavine. They met over coffee at a local Starbucks, and Glavine showed him how he throws the change. And Whistler, although right-handed, decided to start throwing it the way Glavine throws it, and he's now incorporating it into his repertoire. Out toward right center field. On the run is Markakis. He's not going to get it. It's going to trickle out toward the track. And Herrera is going to pull into second base with only his second double of the year. And the Phillies have a runner in scoring position with 2 men down. Sounded like he got it toward the end of the bat.
Well, and speaking of changeups, there it is right there. Down in the zone. Now the difference between that pitch and Glavine's pitch, Glavine used to throw it 6 inches outside and get the call. I'm just kidding. He did. And I'm just hoping that Lopez doesn't talk to Flowers and teach him how to receive those changeups. So it could be a long night for the hitters.
You're right, though. He did work it off the outside part of the plate. Cesar takes a breaking ball, and it's 0-1. Cesar grounded out his first time up. That one's hit sharply back towards shortstop. Taken on a hop by Ibar. And he throws out Cesar Hernandez. He was shaded that way to try to keep Odubel Herrera close at second base. And the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left in scoring position. We'll move to the bottom of the 3rd here at Turner Field. brought to you by T-Mobile. Get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE since 2015. Buy your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com. And buy WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. We start the bottom of the third. Adam Morgan delivers to Chase d'Arnaud, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. d'Arnaud spent a little bit of time in the Phillies organization. 2 for 6 of the series against the Diamondbacks. 2-0. Adam took a peek in at that after that pitch because it looked like he thought it was in there for a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike to Chase d'Arnaud.
Remember how we always talk about pitchers are starting to pitch backwards? That's the situation as a hitter. You think 2-0, here comes a fastball. Maybe he's going to try to spot it. Instead, he throws a straight change. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to think backwards as a hitter.
Line drive to left field. Goodell on the run. He dives and he can't get it. He knocks it down on a hop. And Chase d'Arnaud is out to second base quickly. And it's a leadoff double, the first hit of the evening for the Braves.
Pretty good effort right here. It's a big swing hit off the end of the bat. Hooks away from Goodell. Now there's a question. Do you try to keep it off the bounce and try to keep him from getting to second base? But I think d'Arnaud would have got to second base pretty easily.
Leadoff double. Now Eric Ibar is coming up. Ibar 187 this year. And Morgan steps back towards second base. We mentioned during the open tonight, the Braves have been outscored by 63 runs. They've scored 90 runs so far in the first 30 games of the season. Fly ball to right field. Borges will back up. d'Arnaud tags from second. And he'll get to third. One out here in the bottom of the third. The Phillies' fantastic auction is underway. 50 unique items, memorabilia, trips, and experiences in partnership with 94 WIP Radio. The auctions close at various times through the day May 17th and 18th. You've got road trips with the team, a sleepover in the locker room for kids, private hitting clinics, and much more. It's now open at Phillies.com/fantastic auction for bidding of the items on the list. And you can see the entire list at Phillies.com. What are you thinking here, Matt? Suicide squeeze?
I wouldn't think on the first pitch. Infield's in.
Well, he's not thinking suicide squeeze at all on that one.
No. He's thinking about pulling his head off it.
1 for 11 so far this year, hitting .091.
Bo Porter going through the signs down at third. Usually when there's a squeeze on, you'll see some kind of the hitter will either kick the dirt or take his helmet off or touch the back of his helmet to let them know that the third base coach know that he has the sign. So even though he gives you a sign, you have to give a reply and answer to him.
Now, what he whispers to the base runner, is it usually just one word, or is it squeezes on?
He'll probably say it's on. Or get a good jump, or Bo Porter was my third base coach when I was with the Washington Nationals, and he used to come up to when I had the opportunity to get on base that year, which wasn't very often. He'd come over and tell me, he says, "Man, Oakland A's were fun that year." That's all he'd ever tell me.
Foul ball, and it remains 1-2, but that was not your cue that there was a squeeze on.
No. The 1 or 2 times I get to third base, no, that wasn't my cue.
See, he didn't get there often enough that he kept forgetting that he talked to you about the Oakland A's the other times. Over to third base, knocked down and picked up by Galvis, who then throws to first. And it looks like the tag will get Matt Whistler. I think Ryan kept his foot on the bag. They'll go down as a 5-6-3 on the putout. 2 outs.
Just the way you write it up. The ball get on Franco pretty quick. Nice to see that Freddie Galvis was coming over to watch the play or get close to the play. You can see right here. Ball's hit pretty hard. Kind of tails back a little bit right to Freddie Galvis. Great concentration right there by Ryan Howard. Staying there, knowing that the play is going to be close. You can see clearly he's on the bag and he had the tag.
Yeah, the first base umpire, Clint Fagan, just pointed. So I guess he was pointing at the bag. 2 outs. Markakis is up. He struck out looking his first time up. Adam Morgan trying to work around a leadoff double here in the third. Freddie Gonzalez put Markakis into the leadoff spot about 5 or 6 games ago. He's 5 for 19 since that time.
But isn't that where he hit all last year?
For a good part of last year, yes. I think it was kind of the same thought as Odubel Herrera, that they didn't feel like they had a middle of the order and they wanted him to hit down a little bit. Outside, 2-1. I also think the injury to Inciarte jumbled the top of their lineup. Inciarte, at least at the beginning, was thought to be the leadoff hitter, but then came down with a hamstring injury. Line drive caught out of the air by Adam Morgan, and the sign is retired. Well, sometimes it's good to be a little lucky. Adam Morgan got himself in a great position to field his position. This line drive came spinning back, and he was able to flag it down. The 4th inning, 3 hits between the 2 squads. Maikel Franco, Ryan Howard, and Carlos Ruiz to lead it off in front of some of the Phil's faithful who have made their way to Atlanta for this ball game. 3 straight night games down here in Atlanta. First of 3 visits for the Phillies. Franco singled his first time up. That's only his 5th hit on this road trip. First pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. Another one hit sharply, and another base hit by Maikel Franco. Matt, that's a good sign. 2 balls that he was able to drive almost to the middle, and that's essentially the middle with the way the shift is played.
Well, and you have to be happy with this swing. I mean, you really do. It means you're staying on the ball, you're driving it. I know I said in the first inning, but take what you can get right now. You might not have that home run swing, then stay in the big part of the ballpark. He's going to end up hitting a home run to left field on a ball he didn't expect to hit the left field because he's just going to react to it. He doesn't have his home run swing like we saw in spring training. You know, he'll hit a home run, he'll go for a little while without hitting a home run. Just take the base hits until you find that home run swing again.
Ryan Howard flying out to center field his first time up. And that was with Franco at first base with 2 outs. A curveball, and it's 0-1.
So second time through the order with Herrera, Hernandez, Franco, and Howard, all off-speed pitches first pitch. Where the first time through the order, left-handers were getting a fastball first strike followed up by a curveball. Now all the hitters are getting first pitch curveball.
Now, do you want to look that way if you're a hitter, or you want to just let it go by?
Well, you could. I mean, you're going to sit there and hopefully guys are watching from the bench or on deck how the patterning he is. He's getting into a pattern. Now, I think it depends on the situation, how many quick outs there are, runners in scoring position. Runners in scoring position, absolutely, sit on the curveball.
0-2 to Ryan Howard with a runner at first base. And Howard strikes out. Second strikeout for Whistler. And Carlos Ruiz is coming up. Carlos popped out his first time up. So what are you thinking now, Murph, in his second time up?
Oh, I'm thinking base hit. That's what
right.
I'm thinking. I'm an optimist. What do you want from me? You know, in talking about Carlos Ruiz, you think about last year in 2015, probably a year that Carlos, when he looks back at his career, is going to want to forget, both offensively and defensively. He really struggled. But coming into this year, he came back to spring training. He was healthy. He knew that his role was going to change. He was going to play in limited games, playing in just game number 14 for him this season. But it certainly looks like it has helped. You know, he was talking to some reporters the other day, talking about how strong his body felt, how his shoulder feels 100%, and how he feels really good behind the plate as well. He had 11 errors last year, Tom. He has none so far this year. Already has 3 home runs this year. Had only 2 all of last season. So things, you know, Pete McCannon talked about it in spring training, said Cameron Rupp was going to get the bulk of the catching duties, but they still believe that Carlos Ruiz can go out there and get the job done. And he believes certainly that he can get the job done. In fact, he thinks that he could play every day and still get the job done. But in the limited role that he has right now at the Phillies, it seems to be working for him.
Well, I think the part that we all forget about are the errors from last year. 11 errors. That's just, I mean, Carlos Ruiz is a borderline Gold Glove catcher almost every single year he goes out there. 11 errors was very unlike Carlos Ruiz last year.
Yeah, and it just goes to show you just how banged up he was a year ago. And he's not a guy that's going to sit there and tell you about it. But we could tell, you know, you sit there and watch him every game. You knew he was hurting. Those shoulders were hurting him a lot. And I think that was a big part of it. Now he's healthy.
Franco goes. The pitch is fouled over the first base dugout. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, we always love having him around. He's been asked a lot about the youth of the Phillies. He likes the young pitchers. He's also realistic to understand that this might be his last year in a Phillies uniform. If it is, his legacy will be tough to match for anybody coming forward. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ruiz. Fouled away, and it's 2-2.
And like had Pete had the base runners, Franco leaving first base on the hit and run. Having 2-0 pitch, knowing that he controls the bat very well. Maybe getting back on top of that baseball and hitting a ground ball. Unfortunately, it was a fastball up in the zone.
inside, 3-2. Not many hitters have allowed the count to get to full 3 balls and 2 strikes.
No, and Chooch got lucky there. It looked like Chooch was sitting on an off-speed pitch. That fastball went past him before he even got his foot down.
The throw over. Whistler realizing that Franco may be off and running on this pitch. This being the first 3-ball 2-strike count.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if Franco does not run here.
Franco goes, and the pitch fouled back. Good pitch to hit. Good swing by Ruiz. Franco goes again. Pitch is hit through the hole on the left side, a base hit. Franco on his way to third. Francoeur's throw is not in time. First and third with 1 man down. Have to admit, I thought it was a gimme that he was going to get to third base, but when he took that turn around second, I was thinking he better hurry up.
You mean the old piano, get on his back a little bit? 1, he got a great jump. 2, he never hesitated, but what I like about this player right here, you know it's a run and hit. A lot of times people think you have to hit the ball to right field because the second baseman is covering the play. But in that situation there, the biggest thing you want to do is hit the ball on the ground. You saw what happened there. The shortstop was covering, thinking that he was going to hit the ball to right field. No hesitation, going to third. Now even first and third situation with 1 out.
And Freddie Galvis, the batter, he flied out to Francoeur his last time up. Phillies have runners on first and third with 1 down. In the dirt, 1-0. Phillies are averaging 3.25 runs per game. We mentioned the Braves are at 3 runs per game. Neither team, as we all know, has been an offensive juggernaut, but Phillies have a chance here to take the early lead. Fly ball right field. Markakis is under it. Tagging from third is Franco. And Franco's going to score. It'll be a sacrifice fly, and the Phillies take a 1-0 lead. So Freddie Galvis does his job, gets the run home.
Good job getting a ball in the outfield deep enough to score a run. I like the fact that Chooch came back to first base to tag. And if Markakis was going to throw to home, Chooch would have went to second base, made him cut the ball and get in a rundown.
I thought Markakis was going to uncoil one there for a second. Here's Goodell. Goodell flied to center his first time up. So 5 batters here in the 4th inning, just 1 first pitch strike for Matt Whistler. First 11 batters he faced, he threw 7 first pitch strikes. High chopper over to the shortstop, picked up on the big hop by Ibar. And the side is retired. But the Phillies do score a run on a sac fly by Freddie Galvis. The base hit by Ruiz certainly helped. And we'll move to the bottom of the 4th. by Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com to find your RAV4 today. Toyota, let's go places. Let's go Phils. Last of the fourth inning. Phillies up 1-0. Ender Inciarte will lead it off. It'll be Inciarte, Freddie Freeman, and Tyler Flowers against left-hander Adam Morgan. Adam's got a number of friends and family who are here for this ball game, as you would imagine. He grew up in Marietta, Georgia. Went to Kell High School. His senior year in high school, he was 6-1 with an ERA of 3.65. He did not get drafted. Instead, he went to his dad's alma mater, the University of Alabama, where he pitched there and eventually was taken by the Phillies in the 3rd round of the 2011 drafts. Inciarte grounded out to Ryan Howard his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Off the screen, 0-2. One of the aspects of the Braves season that they've talked about, and they haven't focused on it solely. They're 7-23. They're already 12.5 games out in the National League East. They have not had a series this year against a team that had a less than 500 record coming in until this past weekend against the Diamondbacks. Everybody else they faced at the time that they faced them were 500 or better. There's a liner out toward right field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Inciarte's aboard, a leadoff single here in the 4th. And Freddie Freeman will be the batter. Now that doesn't mean that they couldn't have lucked their way into a couple of victories or a couple of series wins. But the Diamondbacks were under 500 when they came in. They are now 16-18. But the overall winning percentage for the opposition that the Braves have faced this year is .587.
Well, I hate to tell you, but there's only 6 teams in the National League that are less than 500 this year. So the chances are you're going to play against a team that's over 500.
That was brought up. It doesn't get much easier for them either after this. Freddie Freeman flying out to center his first time.
So you don't think traveling to Kansas City and playing Friday?
Line drive base hit to center. Inciarte's on his way to 3rd. And he'll get there easily. That won't be an error on Odubel Herrera, but his problems on these little ground balls to the outfield have continued. I don't know if he would have been able to throw out Inciarte. I doubt it, because Inciarte was running the entire way and he kind of laid back on it. But now 1st and 3rd with nobody out for the Braves.
It's the little peak with the head is what is hurting Odubel right now. Right before he's about to catch the ball, his head comes up to look at the base runner, closes the glove a little too early instead of going through that ball and scooping it and just assuming you're going to come up and throw and hit Freddie Galvis as a cutoff man. Now your job is done. Catch the ball and hit the cutoff man. Your job is done.
Phillies will set up to turn 2. Matty has 4 errors this year, Odubel Herrera, and all 4 have been on that particular play. Flowers takes low, 1-0. Mike McClinsky is the home plate umpire. Clint Fagan at first. Mike Winters, the crew chief, is at second, and Marty Foster around at third. 1 ball, 1 strike to Flowers. Ground ball toward the hole, backhanded by Galvis, quickly to second for 1, over to first. A sharp double play. The game is tied, but there are 2 outs here in the 4th inning. That is an outstanding double play, and both Galvis and Hernandez got rid of the ball fast.
Yeah, this is an area where Freddie Galvis wanted to improve this year, and he sure has. Look how quick he is to get up. Not the fact that he got up so quick, it's the fact that he threw a strike to Hernandez. Right square in the chest, and a great turn, strong throw by Hernandez. Adam Morgan will take that with the 1st and 3rd situation.
So we're tied up at 1, but there are 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Jeff Francoeur swings at the first pitch and fouls it. It's 0-1. Francoeur grounded out to Hernandez his first time up. Fly ball to right field. Peter Borges is there, and the side is retired. But the Braves do tie it up. Adam Morgan allows a couple of hits, doesn't leave anybody. We've played 4. It's the Phillies 1 and the Braves 1. Outing against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, he looks good, Tom. You know, he's using his fastball very effectively and keeping him off balance. He gave up a couple of hits to the lefties, but they were just not the best pitches. But he looks good so far.
Hey, Pete, what about the offense right now? Did you guys have a game plan that you wanted to be aggressive early in the count, stay away from that changeup, or is that just the way we decided to go at it today?
Well, we talk about being aggressive early in the count all the time. Steve Henderson preaches that a lot, and we need to get our guys to stay aggressive on each and every pitch and try to stay ahead in the count. And if you don't want to get behind because of the secondary stuff.
Pete, we just saw Freddie Galvis and Cesar Hernandez turn a real sharp double play. How impressed have you been with how Freddie's evolved defensively at shortstop?
You know, Freddie's been fantastic. You know, last year, the previous years that I've seen him, he was a little bit too flashy. You know, he had that Latin flavor to him, and he liked to be a matador a lot. But this time, this year, he's really beared down, and he's bearing down on making routine plays, and he's going to make some outstanding plays as well.
Pete, did you have a message for your team coming into this series just to finish up this road trip on a positive note?
Not really. I wanted to stay away. Stay away from that, Tom. I wanted to make sure that we didn't take this series any differently than if it was the #1 team or the last team in the league. And we have to play one at a time and win every game.
Pete, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you again.
You're welcome.
All right, Pete Macadam, the Phillies manager, as Adam Morgan leads it off here in the top of the 5th inning. 1 ball or 2 balls and no strikes to Morgan. Interesting. He was talking about being aggressive, trying to get the hitters going, that their goal is to try to get them going. So maybe go after a first pitch fastball or second pitch fastball.
Well, and I've preached this before, and I have no problems hitters being aggressive early in the count. I really don't. But as long as you're swinging at your pitch. And yes, I might sound like a broken record by talking about that, but I'm an offensive guy where you want to hit in your strength.
3-1 to Adam Morgan.
What's that?
Did you want Adam Morgan to get the green light there?
No.
Yeah.
I don't want to see. I want to see him have the red light again. He should take this pitch, because 3-1 is going to be the exact same pitch 3-2. You're going to get a fastball. Good. Now you work 6 pitches. I just want to see the hitters, when they walk up to that area, pick out an area where they want to look for a pitch, and that's where they want to hit it.
To center field, not deep, and Ciarte makes the casual grab. WB Mason offers the brand you like Swingline's huge selection of laminators and shredders. Whether you're preserving your best work or safely destroying your most confidential documents, Swingline and WB Mason deliver a cut above the rest. Who but WB Mason?
Because I can say that about the area where you walk in, because when I first came into the league, I used to swing, and I swung at almost every pitch that came out of it. He could throw the rosin bag, I would have swung at it. But then I realized that once I got a little older and I knew my strike zone and I knew what my power was, or my area where I was going to hit a ball hard on a consistent basis, that's where I changed my approach. And that's what I want the younger guys to do, is just to work at your strength.
That one's out toward left field. Francoeur going back. It's over his head and up the top of the wall. The throw going to second base is not in time, and Borges has a one-out double. Boy, I thought that had a chance to get out of here.
Yeah, it was a good swing, and even if he would have got thrown out of second base, he would have had interference with Freddie Freeman at first base. But it's nice to see him hit a ball that hard on the line. That ball's down in the zone. Nice, easy swing. Frenchie, of course, plays it off the wall perfectly like he always does. Makes a strong throw.
I was wondering why Borges was so late to get to second, that he was
he had to cut the turn a little sharper than usual.
So Borges is in scoring position. That's his 8th double of the year, and Odubel Herrera, who's 1 for 2, is the batter. Odubel was trying to hit that one to the new ballpark.
If Odubel would have hit that ball, he would have hit it like the ball he hit in Miami. Foul.
I don't think he would have flipped the bat, though.
No, he would have. I would just like to see another double left center. Right center last time, now this time left center.
Fly ball to right field, and Markakis is under it. Borges tagging from second. And Borges will head to third. The throw by Markakis not in time. 2 outs, runner at third. Good pitch by Whistler. He jammed him. Whistler came in with the opposition hitting just a $175 against him. Which is the second lowest batting average against among qualified pitchers.
So again, we come back to your game plan or your approach of hitting. If Cesar was sitting on an off-speed pitch right there, I would have no problems with it. But if he's sitting on fastball and reacts to an off-speed pitch, you take it.
In the dirt, 2-1. I think he was fooled on that pitch.
He was attacking it, thinking fastball the whole way. Never made the adjustment.
And a line drive, base hit it to right field. And the Phils will retake the lead. An RBI single by Cesar Hernandez scores Peter Borges. And it's a 2-1 ball game.
That's what you call making an adjustment. Watch how early Cesar Hernandez gets his foot down when he hits this breaking ball. Foot down, recognizes the pitch, head down, goes through the baseball and hits a missile to right field. Good balance, good swing.
7 RBIs now for Hernandez, who picks up his 8th hit on this road trip. Maikel Franco's 2 for 2. Matt, I can see it already. I can see what you're talking about. Very few first pitch fastballs to these guys. And I guess I wouldn't do it either. I would probably throw them something soft to start second time through. That one's lined out to center field. Ciarte is there. And the side is retired.
But here my question is why would you change your approach that worked so well the first time through the order? Now all of a sudden you change your decision what you want to do. Now instead of being aggressive, you start nitpicking, and that's the reason why you're losing 2-1.
It's now time for our Citizens Bank Minor League Report. Citizens Bank, the next time you have a question about money, don't keep it to yourself. Ask a citizen. Well, the Phillies Minor League Players of the Week. The pitcher of the week is Luke Leftwich, a right-hander. 6 innings, no earned runs, 10 strikeouts for the Blue Claws. And Emmanuel Marrero, his teammate, at 4 RBIs and an OPS over 1,100 this week for the Blue Claws. Congratulations to those guys. How about the Reading Fightins today? 17 hits in their 11:35 first pitch in their victory. Dylan Cousins had another good day. He's really been swinging the bat well lately. He's raised his average up over 270. We saw him in spring training a couple times. He's a big kid playing the outfield for the Phils.
Well, the organization and the front office, coaching staff have to be very happy with what they're seeing out of their prospects and even the non-prospects in the minor leagues. Having good years, throwing the ball well, putting up some good numbers. It's good to see, something to build off of.
Gordon Beckham flies out to right field. Borges on the run, gets to a spot, makes the catch. So 1 out here in the 5th inning for Adam Morgan. And here's Chase Darno.
Getting that time of night where your infielders have to be your outfielders' eyes. Whenever the ball's hit in the air, they need to start pointing at it and start yelling for the outfielders, tell them where the baseball is going to be, because it's getting a little darker at twilight where it's hard to see as an outfielder, especially in this ballpark where there's no lights in the outfield.
Well, that's one of the things that they've talked about with the new park as Darno takes a curve. The new park will have what they've called HD lighting out in the outfield, and the outfielders that play here in Atlanta could not be happier about that. Darnell lets another curveball go by. 2 balls, no strikes. On the outside corner, 2-1. Broke his bat. Cesar Hernandez at second base makes the catch. That's a couple pieces of firewood tonight against Adam Morgan. Miami Marlins are coming to town on this next homestand. It's all part of a 3-game series. The first day is a Hatfield Dollar Dog Night. Day number 3, which is a Wednesday afternoon, it's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. And it's Weather Education Day presented by NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Order your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. Matt, you should come out to the First Alert Weather and talk tornadoes.
Okay.
With the youngsters. Eric Ibar, swing and a miss, 0-1. Oh, and 2.
You know, one thing about this ballpark with the lights not being in center field, you have to be very careful as a catcher. You can see the shadow right here of Chooch. You got to make sure you set up late when you call your signs, because if you're going to all of a sudden move outside, the shadow will go with you, and later in the game, you can actually see the shadow get on top of home plate.
Well, it didn't help Ibar there, Matt.
It's early, Tom.
A couple of good breaking pitches from Adam Morgan. It's a 1-2-3 5th inning with the Phillies on top 2-1. We'll go to the 6th. Minutes Blue Cross Philly of the week has plenty of reasons to smile throughout the first month plus of the 2016 season. Odubel's success a season ago has continued into his second campaign. After reaching base in 21 straight games in April, the numbers keep coming in May. The energetic center fielder is among the NL's best in on-base percentage. Walks, singles, pitches seen, and hits. Herrera never lacks flair on the diamonds. In a flash, he's moving from base to base. And it's all brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, it's time to pull the number off the wall. The dancing ushers, Herman Mills to your right and Melvin Rust to your left. They were given the honor of pulling 65 to 64. We've been coming to this ballpark for a long time. And those two gentlemen, they put up on the video board from time to time, and they're usually in their sections doing some dancing. And there's the dancing. Their escort is saying, hey guys, we got to get off the field. Ryan Howard will leave it off. Howard is 0 for 2, and he takes a fastball on the outside corner. Howard is flied to center field. He is also struck out swinging. Curveball, and it's 1-2.
Last time with 2 strikes to climb the ladder on Ryan. See if they do that again.
That's the goal. You know, you mentioned the other day, Matt, how the Marlins pitch him differently than, let's say, the Braves do. And I had never really recognized that before, just how different even the teams within the division pitch him.
It's amazing how.
That one is flipped out to center field, and Inciarte will make the catch.
You have the Atlanta Braves so far tonight have pitched him soft away until 2 strikes, and they try to bust him in up high in the zone. And we saw the Miami Marlins, nothing but fastballs inside. Everything was hard.
Carlos singled through the hole at shortstop his first time up. Eric Ibar is in the spot where Carlos hit it his last time. It was vacant because Ibar was going over to cover when Mike Alfranco was moving with the count 3-2 and 1 out. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Brewers lead the Marlins 4-2. Jonathan Villar, a 2-run single for the Brewers. That game's in the top of the 4th inning. By the way, Matt, the roof is open in Miami. I received a tweet today about it.
That's 3 times in 5 games.
Yeah. Carlos takes outside, ball 4. He walks on 4 pitches. Phillies fans, next time you want to grab Phillies seats, get the StubHub app. Not only will you find seats you'll love whenever you want, you can find the best seat for your buck when you sort by best value. We take the price and location of seats and show you which tickets at StubHub give you the best deal. So get the StubHub app today.
You still a little disappointed about Sunday with the roof being closed in Miami? Or did you get over it?
I'm over it now. I was not over it that day. Freddie Galvis, the batter. Beautiful day out. Temperatures in the high 70s, low 80s, bright sunshine. Close the roof.
Which I think cost
Darren Ruff two home runs. That was my thought. Not before the game, but fly ball to right center field. Inciarte is saying he doesn't see it, but he's just trying to deke Carlos Ruiz, and Carlos is out at first base. He did deke him. Carlos feels like he got back ahead of the throw. Pete Buchanan is saying, hang on, we're going to take a look at it. Carlos was definitely deked, Matt. He went more than halfway, thinking Inciarte could not see the baseball. Here's the play at the bag. It looks like Freeman's foot is on the bag before Carlos arrives. And that's going to be a double play. 9-3. The Braves are loving it. They know they got away with one. Deal on your favorite Toyota during the Toyota Time Sales event. Toyota, let's go places. Buy McDonald's. Jumpstart your morning with a hot or iced McCafe coffee. Now starting at just $1. And buy Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Last of the 6th inning here in Atlanta. The Braves were looking in their dugout in between innings as Adam Morgan delivers low. 1 ball and no strikes to Matt Whistler. They were all having a good laugh at the expense of Carlos Ruiz for the deke that Ender Inciarte put together to double him up. 8-3 on the putout at first base. Inside 2-1. Carlos probably went, what do you think, Matt? 1 or 2 steps too far?
Yeah, he had a good secondary to start with, and then when the deke was thrown out there, he bit.
Because it is that time of the night, as
Yep,
you mentioned.
It is.
It's not making it any easier for Carlos.
No.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Adam Morgan.
Well, here's the play that happened to finish the last inning. You see Chooch is taking his little secondary lead. Now all of a sudden the hands come out like I don't see it. Chooch takes about 2 or 3 extra strides or steps towards second base who can't get off and back in time.
Whistler certainly liked it. Little cat and mouse.
Yeah, and one thing though is you notice as an outfielder, if I put my hands out and I'm going to lose it, I'm usually going to stop running. Because what am I running to? Right?
It's an excellent point. Bouncer to shortstop. Galvis throws out Markakis 2 away.
Now that's very easy for me to say sitting up here and watching it. But I know as an outfielder when I've lost the ball or not lost the ball, I've stopped and put the hands up. Sometimes I put my hands up, touch the top of my head. If I touch my top of the head, that tells my outfielders that I do see it. I'm just faking a little bit.
It's a good point about continuing to run. Game's a lot slower up here, isn't it, Matt?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I made the game pretty slow when I ran, so I was kind of used to that. But it is. The game's a lot easier when you watch the game on TV. You can think a lot more.
2 balls, no strikes to Inciarte, who has singled and scored. He's also grounded out to first. Right there is when Carlos thought he had lost it.
You know, and yeah, he got caught with the oldest play in the fake. I can't see it, but hey, his job, he wanted to get to third base if he dropped it.
Hernandez charges and then kicks out of his glove. He had a chance to throw him out, but Inciarte's aboard. They've scored at a base hit, a 2-out single. Freddie Freeman's coming up. It's time for our timeless moment. Here's Greg Murphy.
All right, thanks, Tom. Brought to you by Coors Banquet. And on this date, May the 10th, 1967, the Phillies and Braves met up at Connie Mack Stadium for a doubleheader. In the 8th inning of the first game, Hank Aaron stood in against Jim Bunning and hit a line shot to center field over the center fielder's head. It rattled around out there in center field, and it was an inside-the-park home run. The only inside the park home run of the 755 home runs that Hank Aaron hit in his career. Just one that didn't go over the fences, guys.
It's interesting. He's a line drive hitter. I would have thought maybe he would have more than one. He also ran pretty well.
Just one.
Where did it rattle around, Murph?
Rattled around in center field. here and there.
Freddie Freeman is 1 for 2. He flied out to center his first time up, singled his last time. And there's a one-hopper out to shallow right field. Cesar Hernandez throws out Freddie Freeman, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left. We'll go to the 7th. Adam Morgan and the Phils up by 1. The Phillies scored single runs in the 4th and 5th, and Adam Morgan has really done a heck of a job here tonight. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, and 4 strikeouts. He's allowed just the 4 hits. Chase Darno had a double earlier in the game, but give credit where credit's due. Adam Morgan has really bounced back nicely from his last outing against the Cardinals.
He has, and I agree with what Pete said earlier in the interview in the 5th inning, is that he's using that fastball, first pitch strike, and he's pounding the zone, and he's not really getting away from the fastball.
Tyler Goodell leads it off. He's 0 for 2. He's flied to center field. He's grounded out to shortstop. Breaking ball, 0-1. On the other side, this kid has looked pretty good too.
He has, and actually he's doing it the totally opposite. He's doing with the off-speed pitch.
Line drive, base hit to right center field for Goodell. Get a chance to play a few days in a row, and you mentioned it, he's getting his timing back.
It is, and especially he's a very good high ball hitter, because how his stance is with his hands are up high, it's such an easy pass for him just to throw the barrel to that high pitch. Look at the nice easy swing. His hands go right there, straight to the ball. I mean, that pitch is letter high or a little higher. I've noticed he's a very good high ball hitter. The low ball he needs to start a little earlier to get to it, but it's nice to see also his last 2 knocks have been towards the same spot, right center.
Adam Morgan will be up there to try to bunt with a runner at first base. And he bunts it back toward the mound. Quickly off the hill is Whistler, and he'll get the runner at second base. It'll be a fielder's choice for Morgan. Time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans Trivia Quiz answer. All right, Matt, here we go. Who was the Braves' first opponent at Turner Field in 1997?
Do I get a hint? What division?
They were
Central.
in the Central.
Oh.
They are in the Central. They were in the Central.
So it's not
At one point, they were in the East.
Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs is correct. Braves defeated the Cubs 5-4. Log back on Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Peter Bourjos doubled his last time up. Fly ball left center field. Jeff Francoeur and Ciarte are out there. Tomorrow night at 6, Eagles expert Derek Gunn will be joined by Amy Padul to discuss the Eagles OTAs and to bring you the latest on the QB situation. Watch Quick Slants presented by Nissan at 6 on Comcast Sportsnet. Odubel Herrera coming up for the 4th time. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning in a 2-1 game.
Still showing good fastball. 95 right there, first pitch.
Cervenka, who has been very good, the lefty, and Ogando, Alexi Ogando, the right-hander, warming up. Yeah, if he gets lifted from this game, it's I think it's only if he bats the way it's rolling. He's got 86 pitches, so this could be his last one, but he's been pretty good.
If I look back at his outing so far, Whistlers, he's made 1 bad pitch, and that was a hanging curveball to Cesar Hernandez for the 2-out knock that he hit back in the 5th inning.
That one's hit sharply, and it's kicked by the second baseman d'Arnaud, who, if he reacted quickly after kicking it, might have still had a play at first base. But that'll be at E4, his first error of the year.
Kind of came up on him a little quick, and I agree, Tom. If he would have went back and got that ball real quick, he still might would have had a chance because Herrera hit that ball extremely hard on the ground.
26th error of the year for the Braves. Cesar got a good pitch to hit there and fouled it back.
Cesar's taken 1 pitch tonight. He is in swing mode.
It's somewhere to be, Matt. He does have the RBI single to show for it.
Well, a double here would be sweet.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Washington leads the Tigers 3-2. Ryan Zimmerman, a 2-run home run. Yesterday, it was Clint Robinson's walk-off home run. I still wasn't sure if a fan interfered with it or not. That gave the Nationals the victory in a game where Bryce Harper was ejected, and then had a few choice words for the home plate umpire, Brian Knight, after the celebration, or actually during the celebration. I thought Brian Knight got both of those pitches right, by the way. They were up in the zone, but I thought he got them right, that the Nationals were unhappy with.
Well, I can't comment because I didn't see it. I was too busy watching hockey, but I'll take your word on it.
1-2 to Cesar with runners on first and second. Fouls the fastball back.
Let's see if he sticks with the pattern and goes back to an off-speed pitch. Couple pitches down the zone, elevates the fastball, followed up with usually a backdoor breaking ball.
Awfully close pitch.
You know, and a lot of times we talk about how the pattern the pitchers get into. It's because of the catchers. Like Ivan Rodriguez would always call a fastball away. If it was a ball, he'd always followed up the changeup away. For some odd reason, that's how he'd always call.
Back toward the middle, flagged down by Whistler. And the side is retired. 1-3 on the putout. No runs, 1 hit. There was 1 Braves error. Phillies lead 2. Time to stretch here at Turner Field. Phillies up 2-1. Thank you. We appreciate that. MLB draft is right around the corner. It's amazing. 2-1 Phils as we go to the bottom of the 7th. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, delivers everything you have come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Along with Matt Stairs and Greg Murphy, I'm Tom McCarthy. We hit the bottom of the 7th inning. Tyler Flowers, Jeff Francoeur, and Gordon Beckham. First pitch is over. It's 0-1 against Adam Morgan. This has been a very good game plan for Adam Morgan. The way he's gone after the Braves tonight. Ground ball to second. To his left a couple of steps is Cesar. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire, the opposition 1-2-3. Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity. Xfinity X1 will change the way you experience TV. Here's Francoeur. He's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. I asked Jeff today, I said, why are you wearing number 18? You were number 7 here in Atlanta. I'm sure that you could have gotten it from Beckham. Fly ball to center field. That's well hit. Odubel is back at the track, and he makes the catch. And he said one word. Peyton. This is Jeff's last year, and in honor of Peyton Manning, he decided he was going to wear number 18.
So Jeff's on his farewell tour.
I guess, but I would think that if somebody asked him to play another year, he probably would do it. I don't think he's going to get surfboards or anything if he goes to San Diego.
No.
Cowboy boots if he goes to Houston or to Arlington.
I'll give him a Phillies cheesesteak when he comes to Philly.
He might like that. In fact, he would like that. Beckham takes outside 2-0. One of our favorite players to ever put on a Phillies uniform is Jeff Francoeur. Just a great guy to have around.
Talk about having confidence right there. You get a couple pitches at 93, get behind the count 3-0. Drop a changeup in there for a strike.
Out of play down the right field line.
So if a pitcher has confidence in throwing a 3-0 changeup for a strike, back it up with a 3-1 changeup for a strike. Tom, what are you sitting on 3-2?
Well, based on our conversations the other day, I would say if I'm the pitcher, I want to throw a fastball and freeze him. But if not, if I'm a hitter, I'm gonna look changeup here, right?
I concur.
Throws a fastball that sails up. That is the first walk of the night for Adam Morgan. And Chase Darno's coming up. Darno has doubled. He's also popped out to second. By the way, that pitch that he walked him on, not that it's that huge of a deal, 93.
Third 93 pitch that inning, or to that hitter.
I think it shows you how much stronger he is. I mean, we're in the 7th inning. He's thrown 85 pitches now, but he's able to get it to 93. On the hands, popped up just in front of us. And it's 0-2. The 0-2 pitch in the dirt, blocked by Ruiz. Phillies with 2 runs on 7 hits. The Braves 1 run on 4 hits. Check swing, and no swings as the first base umpire, Clint Fagan. Morgan's reached 7 innings in his short career twice. Last time was in August of last year against the Toronto Blue Jays. That's kind of a shocking team for a pitcher to reach 7 innings. But he's trying to reach 7 innings here with a 2-1 lead. Fly ball down the right field line, and Borges comes in, makes the catch, and the side is retired. So he matches his career high 7 strong innings tonight for Adam Morgan. He has a 1-run lead as we go to the 8th. By Nissan. Shop ChooseNissan.com. By Jefferson. Call 800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. And by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Its new instant game, Pennsylvania Millions. Players must be 18 or older to play. Please play responsibly. Maikel Franco will lead it off. And Franco slams one deep to left field. Francoeur going back to the wall. It is gone! A home run from Maikel Franco. His third hit of the day. And the Phillies now lead it 3-1. And once again, Matt, you foreshadowed what Maikel Franco was going to do at one point in this series. You said he was going to hit a home run to left field the way he was swinging his first two at-bats. And it took till his fourth AB of this series for him to do it.
Well, it's all because the first two at-bats and even his third at-bat, he hit the ball back up the middle. This time it's just a reaction. When you see a hanging breaking ball, you throw the barrel, you throw your hands, and what happens? You crush it to left field. Nice, easy swing.
And Sharon Amons of Newark, Delaware, you've just won $300 thanks to Maikel Franco and the McDonald's home run jackpot. Ryan Howard hits it sharply back toward the middle. Ibar on the right side throws him out. 6-3 on the putout. One out here in the top of the eighth. Seventh home run that ties Ryan Howard for the team lead.
I mean, just look how easy his swing is. The foot's down really easy. Now, if you notice in the past, the last maybe, say 8-10 games, his stride is really long. There was a shorter stride. Foot was down early, and all he had to do was react by throwing the barrel to the ball.
His head stayed down on it, too. Explaining it to that hitting guru, Chris Mudd, about what he did right. 0-1 pitch coming to Carlos Ruiz. Fly ball to right field. Markakis. Two outs. Freddie Galvis is coming up. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Well, the Kansas City Royals top prospect Raul Mondesi has been suspended 50 games for testing positive for a performance-enhancing drug. Now, the original penalty was 80 games for him, but he was able to prove to Major League Baseball that he took an over-the-counter medicine that he bought in the Dominican Republic for flu symptoms, and it had the banned ingredient in there, so they agreed to just suspend him for 50 games, but he is still being suspended without pay. At Strasburg, also the big story in Major League Baseball, 7 years, $175 million contract extension to stay with the Washington Nationals. A lot of people saying he left a lot of money on the table, but he said that's where he feels comfortable. So he told his agent Scott Boras to get it done. They did. 7 years, $175 million. He does have a couple of outs over the next 7 years if things aren't working out there in Washington, but I think Steven Strasburg is going to be just fine. Guys?
Well, the last couple of years of that contract, if he plays to its fullest extent, it's a lot of money. He's a very talented kid. I don't know if he has shown the durability, consistently the durability, but they felt like he'd be the frontline guy to balance out Max Scherzer.
To say it's the largest contract for a pitcher that has had Tommy John surgery. The fact that he said that one time he didn't want to be that guy. He just wanted to be like everyone else.
Ball four. Galvis draws a walk. Some people think that it's a signal for the Nationals to then sign Bryce Harper. I think Harper is going to take that and compartmentalize. I think he feels good that they're spending the money, but I think Harper is going to look for what Bryce Harper wants and not really worried about what Steven Strasburg is signed for.
I think Bryce Harper's looking at Stanton's numbers or higher.
I think higher.
I mean, honestly, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but he could be a $400 million player.
Add that to his Under Armour contract. The Harper legacy is set for a long time. Tyler Goodell, a chopper over to third, and the side is retired. Short way to second, 5-4 on the putout. Maikel Franco, though, gives the Phils a little breathing room. He took a hanging curveball and deposited it into the seats in left field. His 7th home run of the year. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-1 Phillies on top. Time now for a Hyundai defensive play of the game.
Well, it happens back in the 6th inning. Freddie Galvis, it's a high fly ball. The old play and the trick where you're out there, you can't pretend you can't find that ball in the twilight. And Ciarte comes up, fires a strike to first base. Gets poor Toots a little too far off first base. That is your Hyundai defensive play of the game, brought to you by local Hyundai dealers.
Fortunately, that's the only real blemish on the Phils docket tonight. Hector Neris will take over for Adam Morgan, who matches his career high with 7 strong innings tonight. 4 hits, 1 run. So Neris is on his 19th ball game, facing Eric Ibar, and the first pitch is fouled down the left field line. Ibar is 0 for 2. He's fly to right. He struck out. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Neris is just not getting totally on top of that split like he had been before this road trip. And that was a better pitch there. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's the fact that the split fingers going in at 86, 87. There's only 6-mile-an-hour difference between his fastball and a split finger fastball, which comes in like a knuckleball. And that was 89. It's almost the point where maybe if he backed off a little bit and didn't throw it as hard, then it'd become a true forkball where it goes in and then last second it dives straight down. But sometimes when he overthrows it, he gets on the side of it, and that's the reason why it goes away from the left-handers.
Ibar's fortunate to even get a piece of it there. Ian Kroll, who's just up for the minor leagues, warming up in the bullpen for the Braves. Matt Whistler might be done after 8 innings. He scattered 8 hits and 3 runs over his 8. .104 pitches for him. That runs high, 3-2. Malik Smith, the young outfielder for Atlanta, is in the on-deck circle. Fly ball, shallow right field. Peter Borges comes in. Well, if you want to bring a group to the game, find 25 or more of your friends and family members. Take advantage of special group opportunities, including discounts, theme nights, party areas. There's plenty of benefits and special options. For more information, go to Phillies.com/group tickets. Alex Smith acquired by the Braves in the Justin Upton trade.
That's an awful tough pitch to bunt right there. You can see after Smith fouled that ball off, he was kind of dazed, like, how'd I miss that?
Check swing. They better hurry. He can run. Galvis charges, throws on the run in time. Freddie realized who was running. This kid can fly. Great reactions by Freddie.
Oh, tremendous coming in, charging. What's the exchange? It's barely in the glove. Then a strong throw to first base. Good exchange, strong throw.
Been a nice night for Freddie defensively. Nick Markakis is 0 for 3. There is the split at its best.
It's almost like you have to concentrate and think, I'm going to swing underneath this baseball. Like usually you want to stay down through the baseball. I want to start my swing below the ball, and hopefully that ball drops down into my barrel. It's like a hang on slider finds your barrel.
I like the way you said hopefully. Hopefully finds the barrel. 0-2 pitch to Markakis. Fastball. I was trying to explain Hector Neris to Don Sutton, Joe Simpson, 2 of the Braves broadcasters. And the way I was describing it, they said, well, it sounds like an old-fashioned forkball. And they concurred with what we've talked about, that he must be difficult the first time around to pick up.
Right, and that's why I say it's going to be so important to see how teams react to him the second, third time I see him throughout the year. You know, you see the scouting report is he has a very good split finger. I wasn't around when I saw the true forkball. I really don't know the difference between a forkball and a split. I know they're both very hard to hit when thrown right. You know, the scouting report on Neris is a good split finger and a good fastball. So until you step in that batter's box and see that split finger 3 or 4 times in a game, it's going to be hard to read.
This Scaino, who's explaining his pitches, has joined Ian Kroll. 7th pitch of this at bat to Markakis.
You know, one thing about hitting against a good split finger fastball is you really have to have in your mind that you're going to stay through the middle of the field. If you pull off a little bit, you're going to miss the baseball every time. So you almost got to change your approach. Like that was a quick pitch. Change your approach to say, all right, fastballs I got to try to just foul off, because he throws the split finger 60% of the time on the year. Because eventually you're going to get it.
3-2 to Markakis. He's fouled off a few of these splits. Tenth pitch of the at bat.
It's just a swing to make contact.
outside, ball 4. That brings the tying run to the plate. And Ender Inciarte. Couple singles, one an infield hit.
Even though the Phillies are up by 2, even with the man on first base now, you'd think that the outfielders would back up a little bit. Odubel Herrera is the only outfielder that moved back. He backed up at center field.
Ground ball to second base. Hernandez is up with it, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits. One man left. We've completed 8. We'll go to the 9th. The Phil's up 3-1. Proudly supported by Chevrolet. Sunday when the Phillies take on the Cincinnati Reds. It's a 1:35 first pitch. A bat and ball set free to fans 14 and under. Nemours kids run the bases following the game. It's all part of the Reds weekend series. Go to Phillies.com to purchase your tickets. Ian Kroll is the new pitcher for the Braves as we head to the top of the 9th inning. Darren Ruff will hit for Hector Neris. And Ruff takes on the inside corner. It's 0-1. Darren is 8 for 66 as a pinch hitter. He has 1 pinch hit home run. Matt, you were an excellent pinch hitter. I'm not saying that you could give everybody some advice on how to do what you did. What would be your piece of advice you would tell Darren Ruff to maybe change the way his numbers are as a pinch hitter? Is there anything?
Be aggressive on that first pitch fastball. You have to be. A lot of times you sit on the bench for 7, 8, 9 innings or whatever, and they know you're sitting around. They know you're cold. Yeah, you're taking a soft toss or tee work or whatever it is. But a lot of times pinch hitters will see the first pitch fastball to get ahead.
Got him. And Darren strikes out. 1 out here in the 9th. And Margomez loosening up in the pen. Peter Borges has a base hit tonight in 3 official at-bats. He has 2 base hits in 4 official at-bats. Lines a single up the middle. Phillies Festival is right around the corner. Thursday, June 9th. Tickets are available right now by calling 215-463-1000 or by going to Phillies.com. Tickets are on sale beginning at 9 a.m. each day. Philly Fanatic photo booth is all part of it, plus autographs from the 2016 players and coaches.
Nice to see Peter Borges get a couple of knocks today, swinging the bat well.
His average is creeping up. It's I know it's still light, but it's at 198. He's now 5 for his last 12 in the last 4 games. I think more importantly than anything else, he's hit the ball hard a couple times tonight.
Yeah, just missed a home run in left field. What'd you say, by a foot?
By a foot, yeah. The throw over, and Borges is back. I wondered about whether Borges would run or not, but watching these first 2 pitches from Kroll is that he does get to the plate pretty quickly.
Yeah, and this is an area where Odubel wants to time him with that big leg kick. You have a lefty doing a slide step. That ball was by Odubel before he even started. See there, he started a little earlier, and he's still late getting the barrel through the zone. He actually gave him a little higher leg kick that time. See, we didn't have to worry about a few years ago the slide step changeup from a left-hander. But this is an area here where if he has any confidence in throwing a changeup and to do a slide step, now all of a sudden I speed up my stance to get to that barrel. I got to cheat. I got to get that fastball. He pulls the string. Something's being pulled. A back muscle, hamstring.
Marty Foster says he did not go. Kroll has pitched in the minor leagues this entire year, and his numbers against lefties are part of the reason why the Braves brought him up.
Watch how heavy he is on the front foot. Foot down. He's not even using the backside anymore.
I don't even know if he'd be able to, if the ball would travel at all if he made contact.
See, I think lefties are doing him a favor by doing that big leg kick. The big leg kick, now he times it. Now all of a sudden he's starting to feel, okay, I'm seeing the ball pretty good. If you have problems, and if kids are listening and whoever's listening, if you have problems with the timing with a guy who does a slide step, all you got to do is wider stance and think about throwing the barrel and just using your hands.
To the right side, Freeman's got it, goes to second for 1, and that's all they'll get. That's a solid play by Freddie Freeman. 3-6 on the putout at second base. And a fielder's choice. And Cesar Hernandez.
You know, and this is, see the big leg kick. If he thinks about keeping that front foot right here, now all of a sudden you have that front leg going here, you have the back leg here, you still have your good balance. You don't have to pick your foot up. All you need to do is just take a nice easy swing, and you're just taking away from any stride and you're just thinking about, okay, I'm just going to use my upper body, I'm going to use my forearms, and I'm going to use my hands. Driving a baseball or hitting a baseball hard doesn't matter the size of the person is. It's how good your wrists and your hands are. That's where you generate your power, and that's where you generate your bat speed.
One ball and 2 strikes to Cesar Hernandez. Top of the 9th inning, the Phillies lead it 3-1. Single runs in the 4th, the 5th, and the 8th inning. The one of the 8th inning was the home run by Maikel Franco. Speaking of Franco, he's on deck. Vizcaíno was warming up before. I don't think he's throwing anymore. Folks are diving every which way for that foul ball. Down the right field line, that'll go out of play.
That's how you catch a fly ball. Just stand there and watch someone miss it, and it bounces right into your lap. Smartest way to get a fly ball.
Yeah, that ball kind of found the gentleman that grabbed it. 2-2. Fly ball right center field. Markakis is on the run. So's Enciarte. He has to go a long way to make the catch, and the side is retired. No runs. 1 hit and 1 man left. On to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Phillies up by 2. Matt, time now for our W.B. Mason delivery of the game. And this was a good insurance run for the Phils in the 8th.
Yeah, it was. A very nice swing. Michael Franco gets a hang-on slider from Wessler. Absolutely destroys this ball to left field for his 7th of the year. His 18th RBI. Giving the lead to 3-1. That is your W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
All right, so this insurance run is for Genmar Gomez, who is coming in to try to record his 12th save of the season. He's tied for the Major League lead with 11. He is tied with Jeurys Familia and Kenley Jansen. Jansen of the Dodgers, Familia of the Mets. 2-1, a 2.41 earned run average. It'll be Freddie Freeman, Tyler Flowers, and Jeff Francoeur against Gomez. Phillies have the overshift on against Freddie Freeman. The first pitch of the 9th inning on the inside corner. It's 0-1. A lot of folks have talked about that pitch right there, Matt. That two-seamer against left-handers that he's able to start them off with. They'll give up on it almost immediately, and it comes back over. Line drive foul. And it's 0-2.
Well, that front door sinker is such a it's a pitch that people used to use only with 2 strikes, because you freeze the hitter as a left-handed hitter. You think it's going to start way inside. It kind of freezes you. It's either going to hit you or it's going to be a ball inside. Next thing you know, it takes that little right turn, comes back in the corner. We used to call it the Yahoo ball. But now you're seeing guys throw it, and Gomez absolutely loves to throw it versus the left-handers. The place you want to throw it to left-handers is elevated a little bit, about just below the belt, right at his hip. That's where you freeze it, because you can't react to it. Down and in, you can react to that one, but the ones that elevated are the ones that are hard to react. You start it right in here for a strike, that's where it freezes people.
Out to left field. Tyler Goodell on the run, back to the wall, and he's gone. An opposite field home run for Freddie Freeman. And this is a 1-run ball game. Fifth home run of the year for Freeman, just the 8th overall for the Braves. Almost looked like he was looking out over the plate and anticipating that kind of a pitch.
I would agree. This is actually a pitch that's slowing away. You can see his momentum's going towards the plate and crushes it and stays over top of it. As you mentioned, Freddie Freeman's swinging the bat well lately.
Well, that's 4 solo home runs for Freeman in his last 13 games. Now Tyler Flowers is coming up. Flowers today is 0 for 3. Adam Morgan with the first 7 innings. He allowed a run and 4 hits. Struck out 4. The 7 innings matched his career high. Hector Neris pitched a scoreless 8th inning, and now it's Gomez who's allowed the run here. Same spot. Well, that one looked like it was a closer to the black. And now it's 2-0. Gomez, the first Phillies pitcher to record 11 or more saves in his first 32 games of the season since Ricky Bo did it in 1996. Fly ball right field. Borges going back toward the wall. It'll stay in the yard. 1 away. Well, Flowers gave it a ride.
The ball came in just a little bit. Didn't hit it right on the barrel, but still had a pretty good swing at it.
Jeff Francoeur is 0 for 3. Kelly Johnson has come out in the on-deck circle. Fly ball left center field. It's not deep. Playable for Odubel Herrera. Frank Core has not wasted any time tonight with his ABs, which is his norm. But there are 2 outs now in the 9th inning. Each of the Phillies' last 6 wins have been by 1 run. It's the longest stretch since 2012. The last time they had 7 straight 1-run wins was 1942. And Kelly Johnson will pinch hit for the Braves with 2 outs. Takes a change up low, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. 1-1.
You know, and I talked about Gomez in the open, and that he's not a typical closer that's overpowering, a guy that you have to worry about one pitch. His his pitch that he wants to live on is that late movement. And we saw with Flowers hitting the ball to right field, just enough movement to get off the barrel, and same with Frank Core. That was actually a pretty good pitch to hit. Both to barrel it, and then it comes down and jams you a little bit. So he relies on the late movement with the 2-seam fastball.
Yeah, right there, that late movement, that ball ran just a bit outside. He wanted it to be called a strike, but the home plate umpire said outside. 2 balls and 1 strike to Kelly Johnson with 2 outs here in the 9th. Change up, 2-2.
Nice
Good pitch.
Great pitch. 2-1 fastball. You think you're going to get it? Nope. Pulls the string. Good pitch, good call by Chooch.
They play Johnson the pull, the normal setup for him, the veteran, and now the 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. Reed Brignac in the on-deck circle. Fly ball left field. Goodell comes running in, and it drops in for a hit. He'll take it on a hop. And Kelly Johnson keeps it alive for the Braves here in the 9th inning. Following today's ball game, Marlon Anderson will provide a full analysis of this first game between the Phils and the Braves, only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Postgame Live. Reed Brignac will now pinch it for Chase Darno. Tying run is at first base. Brignac hitting a .188. That pinch hit by Kelly Johnson was just the 5th pinch hit of the season for the Braves. Braves are now 5 for 44. 1 ball and no strikes.
I find in this ballpark, you get to that point where you want to play no doubles and your outfielders back up, but now there's so much real estate from along here to where guys usually playing normal, an extra 10-15 feet. That's what happened with Johnson's base hit the left field.
Foul tip, it's 2-1. Yeah, Goodell played that the right way.
Yep. The only time you leave your feet in the outfield when you're up by 1, if you have to slide feet first to catch it.
Johnson leads off first, the 2-1 pitch. Fly ball center field. Odubel was playing deep. He has to come sprinting in. Here he comes. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. The Phillies have won for the 7th consecutive time with a 1-run victory. It's 3-2 as they take game 1 of this series against the Atlanta Braves. The last 7 wins for the Phils have come by 1 run. It's the longest streak since 1942 when the Phillies won 10 straight 1-run victories.